Was there ever infidelity in the relationship?
Yes.
When did you first become aware of that?
I guess it was 2019, I'm sorry, yes.
2019?
January, 2018, sorry.
What's happening? What are you aware of?
That my husband's talking to another woman. I guess he had gone on a couple little dates with her. They're flirting and interested in one another.
Was this a woman that you knew?
No, I
Was
didn't.
a stranger to you?
Yeah.
How do you find out?
Well, at this point, like I said, we were off and on separated. At this point, we were actually living together, but we had also agreed that when we were going to be apart, that we would get some therapy individually, and we both decided to start going to like Al-Anon meetings to try and help ourselves independently.
How do you find out about the woman?
So he's telling me when I'm going to my Al-Anon meetings to watch out because guys will be hitting on you a lot. And he keeps telling me this. And so it makes me wonder. So I start to wonder, well, what's he doing at the meetings? And so I looked in his emails, and sure enough, I found some conversations between the two of them.
When you see this, how do you react? What is your reaction? Your emotional reaction to seeing this?
Well, this would be the first sign of infidelity in, I guess, 14 years at that point. So and we had been through so much, and of course I was hurt and betrayed at that point because we were still living together, and surprised.
Did you confront Michael about it?
Yes.
How does that go?
He says it's nothing, I don't have to, it's not something I should worry about. But of course we argue about it. So.
When you hear that response, how does that make you feel?
I felt like he was downplaying it, and he was sort of dismissing it, and not being completely honest. Because he didn't know how much I knew either.
Okay. Did you at any point meet the woman or speak with her?
One time.
How did that go?
Fine. It wasn't anything. We just had. She confirmed it. She actually approached me and said, "You must."
Objection here, so Your Honor.
Don't tell me anything that she said. I'm sorry to speak over you, Judge.
Okay.
So without saying any words that another person said to you,
Okay.
did you approach the woman and speak to her about the situation with Michael?
I went to a meeting. She approached me.
Okay. After that, do you speak more with Michael about the situation?
Yes.
And what's the kind of agreement? Do you guys have an understanding at that point? What's the state of the relationship at that point?
At that point, we're living in the house together, and I'm asking him to move out again and again. He has these places that he finds to go, so I'm saying, please do that. And but I told him, I said, if you do want to see her, if this is something you want to do, then certainly you can't be in the house doing it. And so a month or 2 months goes by, and I found out that he's still talking to her. So at that point, I had him look for another place to leave again.
Okay, so he's out of the house at that point. When are we talking? Early 2018, correct?
Yes. At that point, yes, it's.
All right, I'll get to you in a second. All right, I got to ask a question first. 43. Can I approach the witness?
You may.
We have exhibit 43, deposit BG5. Mr. Redlick, there should be a button here that I can press. Turn this on. Are you able to see on the screen?
Yes.
In the blue down here, is this your handwriting?
Yes.
And is this something that you wrote in response to what you just described?
Yes.
This is the same exhibit, BG4. What we're seeing here is diary entries. Are these written by you as well?
Yes.
And is the date at the top here, 3/12/18, is that appear accurate?
Yep.
So this is the time frame where after you had found out about your husband and this woman,
Yes.
what actions do you take other than having him move out of the house?
I decided to file for divorce.
When did you do that? Do you recall?
I think it was like right around that time, like mid-March.
Why did you file for divorce at that point?
Well, I just felt like that was kind of the final straw, and it hadn't been going well, so,
It's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
yes.
Did the divorce ever get finalized?
No,
So you never were actually divorced. You had initiated proceedings, but not ever completed it. Is that correct?
right.
Okay. Can you talk to that?
I
So
think,
what's going on to the point where we don't finalize the divorce? What's happening in this time frame?
I think March was a pretty rough month for me. I had found out that I had some cysts on my ovaries, and I'd filed for divorce. And after that, I'm told by my attorney,
We're not going to get into anything that somebody's told you,
okay,
but what's your understanding of what's going on? What's the effect that this kind of whirlwind of events is having on you?
I'm distraught at this point. It's hard going through a lot. And I don't think he was receiving the divorce papers. He was dodging the servings.
Did you ever assist in that?
Yes, I did. So I think it was late April after he moved out. I know I was upset because he was initially seemed to be excited about moving out again because he had met the girl, and I thought that maybe he was excited about that, and that was upsetting to me. And again, I had found out that I had
Objection non-responsive.
Sustained.
So you had said a moment ago that he was not receiving the paperwork for the divorce.
right.
Were there ever any scenarios where process server was attempting to serve him for the divorce and you assisted him in not having that completed?
Yes, and that's was late April when he came to me one day from the condo that he was staying at.
Okay, so what I'm asking here is if you can explain the
Yeah,
assistance in avoiding that, okay?
right.
All right, please continue.
So he comes to the house one day, and he was just picking up some things, and he was sitting there, and I asked him what was on his mind, and he said, he just looked at me and he said, I love my wife. And he said he didn't want to be with another woman. And the way he said it just softened me. And so we were affectionate, and we laid down together that day. And ironically, someone knocked at the door, and I looked at the window, and I said, I think it's the divorce papers. And he just looked at me, and he said, please don't. And so I sent her away.
The process server.
She knew he was there. She saw his car, and
Okay, I don't want you getting into someone
Right,
else's
I'm
mind,
sorry.
just what you observe and what you're able to say for yourself. Did you guys talk about reigniting the relationship at that point?
yes. And and then he said, the house, the
Objection
condo.
hearsay, Your Honor.
Sorry.
I'll sustain that.
Are you guys making efforts to
Yeah.
reignite the relationship? How so?
He said the condo is really great, and he wants to start taking me out.
Objection hearsay, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
During this time frame, in the spring 2018, were you still, without telling me anything anybody says, were you still communicating with your husband?
Yes.
When it comes to the separation, how do you observe him taking that? Again, I don't need you to tell me anything specifically that he's saying, but the reaction that you're observing.
He's not something he wants.
And how is that being communicated to you?
Through flowery emails, through his words.
Through conversations, through things you guys are speaking about?
Yes, I mean, there was a point where I know that he was reacting in anger at times, saying, you know, maybe we should separate, but for the most part,
Did you feel that he ever weaponized your divorce attempt against you in any way?
yes.
And how so?
Well, at the time, I wasn't paying the bills, and I really didn't have access to our money. I had a credit card, but he said that if I would follow through.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Judge, I don't think this is getting to the truth of the matter. I don't believe this is hearsay.
Come up and let
Oh,
me
just a
find
second,
out.
Charlotte.
You can answer the question, Ms. Redlick.
So, Ms. Redlick, what I had asked is how you felt that he was weaponizing your divorce filing against you.
Threatened to stop paying bills and take the house from me, and yeah, basically that.
How did this make you feel?
I wasn't super versed on the subject, so I believed him. I was worried about the house and the kids. And I thought he...
Objection, not responsive.
And there's no question right now. Mr. Parnell?
Is the communication with him all this rosy attempt that we've heard? Is it all bad, or is it kind of back and forth?
Say it again?
What I'm asking is, are we all good, all bad, somewhere in the middle right now? Is there open lines of communication?
At what point?
In the spring of 2018, so April, May 2018.
It's not all bad, but it's not all good, so it's both.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Exhibit 59.
Yes. Yes,
You see it during the state's case in chief?
I did.
And you see the date up there at the top, May 14th, 2018.
Yes.
Is this an email?
Yes.
Can you speak to the jury about what's going on in your mind at this time? What's going on in your relationship? Why are we writing this email?
I remember this email was, May 14th is my mom's deceased mother's birthday. This was, I think, the weekend of Mother's Day. And not only was it an emotional but significant day for me, earlier that week I had found something that Michael had written that was quite disturbing to me. And this was at the time that we were supposedly doing better, where we were going on dates, and So he had come over to the house one day. I mean, I was going to his condo, and he was making me dinner, and we were sitting poolside and sort of trying to get along, and he was at the house one day, and
Objection, non-responsive.
And I believe she's getting there.
I'm there.
It is,
The question was about what was in her mind, and now she's talking about something by a pool.
sustained. Mr. Parnell, you can lead the witness
Ms. Redlick,
to get her back on track.
Ms. Redlick, can you explain what's going on around, this is May 14th, 2018, what's going on with you and Michael at that time? And then I'll follow up with a future question about the email.
We were dating.
Well, how so? Is there any events particularly that you recall in your mind that stand out in regards to the relationship, emotions, fights, tensions that you're having with him at that point?
Any specifics you're saying?
What I'm asking is, May 14th of 2018,
Yeah.
were you upset at your husband?
Yes, yes.
Was there an event that led to you being upset at your husband in May 14th?
Yeah, I thought I was trying to explain that, yes.
Well, I'm asking you now if you can explain
Okay,
that to
I'm
the jury, please.
I found one of his books that he left at the house, and I picked it up because I was cleaning up. It was an Alec Baldwin autobiography, and I'm a fan, so I just opened it, and a piece of paper fell out.
Was there something in the paper that gave a reaction to you?
Yes.
What was the reaction that you have upon seeing it?
I was disappointed and shocked.
Okay, and what's causing that?
The contents of it.
Which is?
It was written by him. It was a speech of some sort, is what I gathered. And it was saying that he was newly divorced and single, and he hadn't been inside these walls in 4 years. And then he went on to say some things about his, you should be so lucky when you ruin a good woman that God will give you another one. And
How do you feel at this point? After reviewing that, what's your mindset?
I'm shook up by it because I was surprised that he was saying this when we were clearly trying to get on better. And
Is what you're seeing there matching the interactions that you're having with your husband?
no,
After observing that, after having this experience, did you speak with Michael about it? Did you confront him about what you had found?
yes, I asked him about it.
And is that what leads to this email exchange?
Yes.